Routine and predictability for me is no longer romantic.
Okay.
And spontaneous snacks only happen when you're in the same room.
The one where you just touch and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, you understand? But when you're
Sound like a very blessed. What's more intimate than sharing a bed?
Yeah.
Right. So if we're not sharing our bed.
Wait, what did she say? I missed. What did she say?
Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Beyond 30, our podcast for family, life, love, relationships beyond 30. And today we're going to be discussing a very important topic with my girls
Come
and
Temi.
and I'm Femi, also known as Dr. Obaiduri. Anyways,
Doctor.
Like
Just
justice.
yeah. It's not easy to be a doctor.
That's it, yes, it was not for that thing. Anyway, so today we're going to be discussing, like I said earlier, a very important topic. We're talking about how to keep the spark alive in your marriage.
Pepe.
Yes. So what do you guys think?
How to keep the spark.
Yeah. Thank God we're all married, so they're going to be giving us insights into how they keep the sparks alive in their marriage.
Does not include you.
If I feel good, I'll give you guys some, but let's hear from Kome and Temi.
How to keep the spark alive. What was the spark?
By the way, maybe to give insight so that you guys know that you're not talking to any. These people are OGs in the marriage game. Kome has been married for how many years again? Go ahead, tell us now.
12 years.
12 years. Temi is doing 10 this
9.5
year.
years.
10. Like, can you imagine?
Yeah.
So me, I'm even a baby, and even as a baby,
Which
me, I've done
baby?
8. I'm doing 9 this year.
Which baby?
So
I mean, there's still some OGs, but I think
yeah, but I think we've been qualified enough. We've had enough experience to at least be able to give you some tips and advice on how to keep this spark alive in your marriage. So So who's going first?
I don't know. I feel like it's just hard to just start. Like it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
what was the spark?
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Okay. Maybe we should start with yes. What is the spark, and then at what time does it fade? So we even know timelines that we're working with.
Okay, so it looks like that butterflies in your tummy. That's not the spark we're talking about,
Okay,
obviously,
okay.
because
That's
that
good.
one disappears like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
After the wedding, and then you move in together. That's when you start seeing the annoying things that your partner does,
Yeah.
and then the butterflies just go and they never come back
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So that's not the spark. So let me say, the spark that I think is that how do you keep the relationship interesting? Like so that it's not boring, monotonous. You do the same thing every day for years. Then it will just feel like same old, nothing
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
So at what
That
point
makes
does
sense.
it usually get boring?
May I never find out?
Okay. So what have you done so far to prevent it from getting to that stage? Because you seem to not know what it means to lose its spark. So how do you keep it up?
Okay. I think if you guys were friends in the first place, then apart from the butterflies, he makes me so excited. Like you will always have stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's just like when I'm with you girls, that if you leave us, we'll talk late into the night and it's not boring.
Yeah.
I think like marriage and relationships in general, like they're quite similar. If you have stuff to talk about with your partner, then it doesn't get boring, first of all. And then other things can now come to help the relationship or your
So basically,
friendship.
be friendship. Yeah, friendship. So that's number one.
That makes a lot of sense. Like I can resonate with the friendship part because I feel like it's one of those things that if there's like when you're talking about the spark, it's like what makes you guys laugh, giggle, and have fun and enjoy each other's company, right? So I think I definitely am big on that friendship part. But then like there's also like little things like surprises, like being being spontaneous, right? So I think for me, like that's one of the things that we try to do, even like when we're like you wake up in the morning, you're not doing the same routine every day. Well, before kids, anyways. Before kids, you're not doing the same routine. You're just constantly going out, spending time together in company of other people too, because you're not like no man is an island in itself. So I feel like meeting people, going out, exploring. So there's something me and my husband used to do is like we used to watch this food show. You gotta eat here, and anytime we went to like even if it's just a random city like 30 minutes away, we would like go to that restaurant and try one of the foods that they advertised on television, right? And some of them have been good. And that was the first time I tried lobster, and I was like, definitely not trying this again.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Timmy was adventurous with food. What happened?
I am still adventurous with food, but for lobster, I think I've explored that adventure and I've killed it. So, but yeah, we used to go out a lot. Like we'll go, to places, go to, like, it doesn't even have to be far away, right? Yeah, I think that's one of the other things. It's like not just staying cooked up in your own little space, but also like going out and exploring things, meeting people. We did a lot of like church activities. Like for us, we had like a home, it's almost like a home Bible study thing that we were part of before kids. And then when kids came, we already had like that community, right? So it was like a community of other people, young, old. And it was kind of like good because then it wasn't only about like
so there
our
are two
relationships.
things I've picked from Timmy now.
Yeah.
She said, one, do fun stuff together.
Yeah.
Two, have a community of like minds. You know, like all of us that were married, is sort of when you see this person, you guys are married, you're married, you have a peaceful marriage, and we're doing fun stuff together, even as couples. Like when we come with our little hangout and just, it actually helps to keep the spark alive. So those are some of the things, if you notice in some people's circle, when they see that one person starts getting divorced, people are getting divorced, before you know it starts getting
It's
round
like
to everybody.
It's almost like a sickness that's going around.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your community actually matters. The kind of friends you keep and all that actually helps, right? Because sometimes you even discuss stuff and the other person will encourage you, like, no, it's not like that was a big deal. I've gone through it. But if it's like a community where they are divorced, they want you to join them, they'll say, don't take that nonsense. Get out of the house.
Yeah,
So,
it's true. It's true.
I think that if you're not careful, you could easily get bored of each other.
True. Yeah.
So I think for me, I would say do things separate from each other. Like whatever hobbies
own
you
life
had
outside.
before, then keep doing those things or keep finding new hobbies to go and explore and pursue on your own. So that when you come back, like the person has missed you. And it almost feels like, didn't you see me this morning? You obviously did. We were in the same bed, but because you've spent like maybe the whole day away doing something that you actually love, when you come back, he's like, what happened? And then you now have something to tell him about. So I feel like a lot of people will quickly get bored if you're relying on your partner for entertainment and excitement and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that brings me to something else I was also thinking about is having your own friends outside of
both of you,
friends. Like what I mean by that is, well, it's not having your own friends, like going out there and doing your own thing, making your own friends.
You don't always have to go out with your husband. Sometimes go for your own hangouts, shopping with your friends, whatever, and relax, refresh, and come back.
Yes, you know how sometimes we would just like go out, leave the kids with our husbands, and then go out and have dinner somewhere or go to the spa or something. It doesn't have to be.
Go myself, girls trip.
It's true. When I met you, you had that girls trip.
Girls
So it's about
so
also
all those things help.
Having your own thing outside of this. I think there's also like a group of people that would. So it depends on how they were before marriage. Say for example, now there's some girls, they're like, I can't be with this guy like every day, every minute. I need him to travel a little. Whereas there's some people
like that.
there's some people like
They must be
is
each other's
holding
space all the
hands
time.
24/7,
Yeah.
So I feel like for people that, they need that thing when you miss them for a few days, or if you, I don't know, you need to be very intentional about it, because like life is not just going to put you in those kinds of situations. I feel like for me, I'm like a gum buddy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So like I don't mind spending hours and hours and hours with you, but we at some point have to have like our individual things that we pursue, or I just at least learn something new about you every other
Yeah,
day,
true, true. So definitely, that's another point. Have a life outside of your marriage. It's not all about my husband. My husband, you're now choking. You don't even have anything to talk about outside of
Or he's choking you.
Or he's choking you. Have a life outside of your marriage,
Yeah.
right? I'm talking about that whole go out, have something to talk about. That's why I don't want to marry a doctor, because I don't want to come back home, leave hospital, and now be talking about patient and drug. Please, let's talk about something else. So for me, marrying a doctor would be, because you know what, doctors always marry doctors or nurses.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys, don't you? I'm not tired. So anyway, that's why I don't marry a doctor. So going on to the next point, talking about keeping spark alive, Temi mentioned Gombody and everything. What do you think about couples sleeping in separate bedrooms?
Does that help? Which kind of spark is that?
Yeah,
Like,
does that help to keep the spark, or does it actually?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like, pardon my French, boss. If you're in separate rooms,
Yeah.
like wait. This
That's a
might be
good
very
night.
random.
No.
No, is it that you slept off in separate rooms, and then you now feel like I really want a cuddle right now. You now wake up, and then do you even take your duvet to the other room? Like, how do you do it?
It's weird, yeah.
Do you have to knock when you enter? Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah. It's.
I don't think that helps with spark at
it
all.
doesn't help. It doesn't help.
And I think it also depends on the foundation of like the relationship in the first place. I don't know. I guess there are so many different kinds of people in the world, but for me, I'm just like, it would be like we're fighting for me to like, even when you're fighting,
It's not
safe.
like we are definitely fighting if
Yeah.
you're in a different room.
Yeah.
Because think about it. Like, what's more intimate than sharing a bed?
Yeah.
Right. So if we're not sharing our bed,
Wait, what did she say? I missed. What did she say?
she said. So I said, what's more intimate than sharing a bed? Femi says sharing a toothbrush.
Well, that's
Have you ever shared? Have you ever used your
people that
husband's
share
toothbrush?
I know some
toothbrush.
people that do. They'll be like, if you can kiss, why can't I? I'm like, no, it's not the same thing. But well, some people actually are okay with it.
Ah.
Yeah.
No, that's like sharing your germs.
Yeah. When you kiss, sorry, when you kiss, what do you
No,
share?
but this one is like.
No, that's the argument. So please, I don't share
They are going
toothbrush.
and they're going for
Guys,
like.
you share toothbrush. Like, that was no.
Yeah, that's
Like
off.
that's a whole new level.
A whole new level of intimacy.
No,
That's choking level. That's choking level. I think there's something more psychological going on in that.
Okay. No. My brain can't wrap around. it. Sorry.
no.
Okay, you are going. Sorry to cut you short. You
I
were
can't
talking
remember
about
what I
the
was saying. I don't remember. The toothbrush took me out. Like, no. Okay. I think let me see if I can retrace my steps.
Yeah.
Like, basically, if you are in different beds, first of all, that level of intimacy that you're even trying to build in the marriage, I feel like it really tones it down, because there's nothing more intimate than waking up. I mean, there's sometimes, I don't know if this has happened to you, there's sometimes maybe there's a lot on your mind and you're tossing and turning. It's your partner that'll be like, are you okay?
Yeah.
So if he's in a different room, how
does
would
he
he
know?
even
Or if you
know?
have a bad dream or something like that, like
Yeah.
how do you actually share? Yeah, no, definitely not.
and
one
spontaneous
of
snacks only happen when you're in the same room.
the one where you just touch and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, you understand? But
you
when you're
sound like
separate
a very blessed in that, right?
these chairs are too far apart.
I said we're nodding at the
no.
camera like they understand it.
No. Yeah, you have to be in the same room. Sorry. No matter how rich you get. So, sometimes luxury can affect, how girls dream. I'm like, they're like, I want to have my own room, my own closet, and everything's just me. You can have your own thing. But then, like, I feel like, do you think that money now starts to tug away at some of the special things that both of you kind of shared together before like the luxury came in. Unless people like that. But I feel like if you have that much money, then you have to be very intentional. Like, we're always going to be in the same, we're always going to sleep in the same room. We can have our separate closets and
Exactly. Have your
you
closet
know,
for all your clothes
and
Uh-huh.
rooms and
But
whatnot.
the
but
bed,
the
you must
bed,
always share a bed. Yeah.
no matter how big it is,
Yes.
king size, extra king.
There
Yeah.
was this pastor, I
Yeah.
don't know, I can't remember who,
Yeah.
that preached the message and said, I think it was Pastor Sam Adeyemi,
Okay.
that said when
Yeah,
he
I
got
know.
married, he made sure that the bed was very narrow.
Oh my God.
Well,
Okay.
not like
No.
not like a single bed, but that
Okay,
it was a
okay.
small bed.
Small, yeah.
And when his
Queen.
wife was like, "Why?" he said something like, "So that even if they quarreled, even no matter how bad the fight was, their body must touch in the night. Not that
Yeah.
you sleep on one end of the bed and the
Yeah.
other person's on the end, and before you know it, you're keeping malice for weeks on end because
True.
Yeah.
True. But yeah. So do you think that arguments and fights helps with spark?
yeah.
Yeah, for some people they'll not do that home makeup.
How would we
clean.
make up if we did
Yeah.
not fight?
Actually, some people do. In my own marriage, that's not how it works, Sha. But
So
but
fighting
I
doesn't
know,
help.
I know people that say that fighting helps to bring them closer together, right? I'm not saying fighting tears up for that part, but we'd rather not fight. Let me just
So let me
put it
give
that way.
context, right? The Bible says, how can two work together unless they agree? And sometimes to get to that point of agreement,
Yeah.
there has to be
Yeah.
a serious level of dialogue where party A and party B now know that, this is where we stand, and then we find a middle ground. If the fighting in a marriage is not about that, if it's not about finding a middle ground, I don't know what they're doing, but
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
No,
of it.
disagreement is different from there's disagreement of we both don't agree, blah, 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 and there's fight of God, I'm so mad at you, you did this, you did that, and
Some people like rough
yeah. There's some people that they fight
Oh,
is serious, and there are some
And that's
people
how
that-
they even get
yeah,
into the next
disagreement.
level.
Disagreement is normal, even in friendships.
No
We don't
disagreement
all
like
agree.
fight.
That's what I mean. That so I'm trying to tell
Not
comment that
physical
disagreement
fight.
no, not necessarily
not
physical,
physical, yeah.
but disagreement is different from fight. I disagree with your opinion, but okay, but fight as in no, that's crazy. I don't like what you do, blah, blah, blah. And then people are like genuinely angry at each other. When you disagree, you might not be angry with the person, but you just don't agree with their opinion, and you guys.
So you saying you've
disagree.
never had a fight?
Really hard fight.
Wow.
We disagree. We disagree.
So maybe you guys just
on
know
some
how
things,
to
but
like.
fight. No, that's why I said
Wow.
that.
Femi is the one that we should be
She's the
asking.
specialist. She's
We're not talking about fight. We're talking about spark. This week is for spark. So focus.
But it sometimes ties into like
Yeah,
a lot of
definitely.
relationships is the only way you feel closer to this person, or the only way you learn something new about the person is through disagreements.
Yeah, through disagreement.
But I think so here's the difference between disagreement and fight. I feel like the big difference there is maturity in the communication level, right? So I feel
Yeah.
like sometimes what leads to
disagreements
like
can easily lead to
the
fights
fights.
if you don't. Yeah.
a lot of times, like especially in the earlier part of marriage, right? You're disagreeing, and most times, at least in my own case, it will lead to some kind of like, fight,
Yeah.
right? And when it does that, it's like, it's almost like you're trying to really explain how deep that thing affects you, or how important that thing is to you. Once that happens, then that person gets to know you better, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't want this person to get to this point, and it's like, but anything that happens after that is personal knowledge. But
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes, like in some other couples, in their
Yeah.
case, like she said, disagreement can easily escalate to fight, especially when they start using abusive language.
Yes,
and
that's the part
disrespect
that is
setting.
tough, yeah.
It's okay to disagree. Even it's
Yeah.
okay to fight if you're fighting respectfully. By the time you
Yes.
start calling names, doing all
Yeah.
this, and then
Yeah.
before you know it gets
Oh, no.
physical. And it
no,
can
no,
escalate
it's
quickly.
definitely not good.
Yeah.
I feel like that even does the opposite
Oh,
to
yeah.
spark.
Yeah.
If you guys are hurting yourselves in
saying
the
hurtful
fight.
things that you regret after.
Yes,
and all
because
that.
it's almost like you can't take words back.
Can't take
it
Once
back.
you say it,
Yeah.
it's like the person is thinking, do you
Did
really,
you really mean
really
that?
mean
Do you
that?
really
love
Because,
me? Yeah, for you to
it's
say
like
that,
for
yeah.
you to think that far, like, it takes away from the spark, I think, if you get to that level of like you're fighting and using words that you can't undo, right? You can't take back. But I feel like disagreement, I don't know, this might be based off of the level of maturity that they had before they got to marriage, like before you marry somebody. But a lot of times, for most couples, disagreements always kind of tend to lead to fight.
Yeah,
And
that could
yeah.
happen. It's also knowing how to manage. I don't know. If you notice like in a partnership, when
Yeah.
in couples, there's always one hot-tempered one and one calm one, or one that is like and one that knows how to. So you know who you are in the marriage. Like me, I'm the chilled one. So I always know how to.
I feel like this is a topic.
diffuser.
This is
Yes.
like one topic that
On
we should
its own
break
right.
down and be like, you
Yeah,
know, how
yeah.
do you how do
Yeah.
you disagree and how do you fight?
Yeah.
Like, what battles do you pick?
Yeah.
You
Before
know,
we even jump
Yeah.
into that, so let's now establish one way to keep your spark alive is
Yeah.
to learn to fight correctly.
Yes.
Respectfully.
Respectfully,
Respect.
Yeah,
correctly.
respect each other.
Yeah, and also like when you're disagreeing, make sure that the main purpose of that is for you to, like, it's not, yes, it's for both of you to align. It's not because, oh, I just want to win, or I just want to, you know,
exactly.
I just want to, like, you take my this thing.
Yeah, you mustn't always win every argument.
Yeah. Even
Yeah.
I don't even think, I think both parties should just go in regardless of like winning. I mean, depending on how you argued before you got married or before you even got into relationships, I think that's where the learning and the unlearning comes in, where you're like, okay, I think the way I argue, I'm a very defensive person, and it just naturally happens. So now you have to be very cautious of it. It's like, look, I'm not like trying to be defensive. It's just,
Yeah.
I just want to make my point
Yeah.
known, you know, this.
I tend to get defensive when I'm arguing.
Oh
too.
my God, yeah.
My husband has a name for it. He says it's firstborn syndrome.
And we are all firstborns. So.
That's
Oh,
true.
That is firstborn syndrome.
Because before the person even lands, you're already
Yup.
like, no. It's not me. Oh, no, what you're saying is not correct. Yeah.
Initially,
Yeah.
I didn't take that seriously, but I then realized that okay, when you have been accustomed to being in charge,
Yeah.
and now you are
That makes sense.
You're now in a different relationship where you are not in charge.
Yeah.
You have a co-pilot. I've never subscribed to the man is up and the woman is down. No. But you now have a co-pilot. And so sometimes you have to sit down and actually explain what is going on in your brain
Yes.
because he can't read your mind.
And that's where the struggle comes
And
from.
that's where the struggle. So if you're the kind of person that you are always defensive, instead of trying to come from a place of, okay, I see that you don't see where I'm coming from. Let me help you see where I'm coming from. If you can do that without losing your temper, then you can now start to be aligned.
Yeah. Okay, how about all those small little things that people like, I like, sometimes you follow people and they're like, oh, you know, even if like you should do date nights every day, like, you know, we've been talking about this segment. I wanted to shift it a little bit. Like, so do you guys think that date nights,
It plays a whole
and
date night,
all those things,
remembering birthdays, remembering anniversaries,
yes,
gifting, you know, all those things.
Well, if
they
those are
make
your
a
love
lot.
languages, I guess. Oh.
It makes a whole, like me.
Is your love
What's your
language
love language?
gifting?
No, I would say gifting, but
Yeah.
okay, I don't know. You guys help me classify it. You dare not forget my birthday. Like, if you are somebody that is close
What
to
we
me,
call that?
I'll take it P. Like my husband is someone that doesn't remember dates. But you see, he had to learn the dates of birthday,
Because
anniversary.
it's important to
It's
you.
important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not be a big deal to you, but it's important to me. So he has so learned it. He makes it count. He goes out, gets the gifts, does surprise, you know, all these things. And back to back, he has never missed it. So even my parents till now, they still give themselves wedding anniversary gift
That's
cards.
cute.
Till now, this is how many years of marriage you get.
Yeah,
So I also
yeah.
learned from them. So those things still keep, by the time you start taking it for granted, like, hey, it's your birthday. Before you know it,
Yeah.
do you get,
Yeah.
how they call it, familiarity will start to set in. And before you know it, that spark will be gone. For people that like things like that, there's some people that they don't really care about. But for me, it's part of this spark. You have to remember. What do you guys think about?
Yeah.
I always thought that Femi's love language was quality time.
It is. It's part of it.
It
Though.
is,
Oh
right?
yes, no, of course.
I feel like there's not one.
There's
for
not one.
most
Some people can have
Yeah.
more than one, but
Me,
definitely quality time
can
is
somebody
important.
have like everything?
No, they said you
You
Like,
can
they
actually have
order
a
of
degree to
priority.
yes, to
Okay,
certain
that makes
degrees.
sense,
Yeah.
'cause-
What's yours?
Words of affirmation is very important to me. Like, yeah, and quality time too is good, but words of affirmation is like my highest, I think. And gifting, I don't. I'm like, buy me gifts, but like, it has to come with like real intention. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, it has to be extra, extra. But yeah, that's fine.
Okay, what about let's talk about gossiping. Like your husband being your best friends. Is it part of what keeps the spark alive?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Like on a daily, we have to debrief.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to do debrief every
Yeah,
day. Like if you
yeah.
go out, like
Yeah.
in fact, there's something that will happen. Like I'll be going out and I'll just be on the phone with him like almost constantly, right? You just never get tired of that. Like for me, at least for me, because like in discussions, that's how you kind of go deeper with people. Because it's almost like when I first met you guys,
Yeah.
if we weren't talking,
Yeah,
we would
we
never get
won't.
closer, right?
Yeah.
Like if we weren't calling ourselves, if we weren't like constantly conversing. So I feel like that part, like you're going out, you come back. Me, my own assurance is when the way I know that somebody is still in good terms with me is if they're talking to me. If they're like completely exed 1 week, 2 weeks, I don't talk to them. And I'm not talking about friendships now. I'm talking about if
Even
you're
marriage.
dating somebody in marriage, it's like there's definitely something off. Like even one day, Seth,
Yeah,
is
you're
too
right.
much.
It might not even be that they are fighting with you. It might be something bothering them.
Yeah.
If they're not their usual bubbly self talking about you, you know that
Yes.
something is off.
Yeah, you just be
actually.
like, there's something off. Like
Yeah.
we need to talk.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you not believe in
see.
debriefing?
Oh, wait.
Like
With your
debriefing,
husband.
yeah. You must do.
The debrief does not even need to be at the end of the day. It's an
In real
early,
time.
it's an early
Yeah.
debrief.
I love that. Yeah.
But the thing is, I also think that there is a place for. I don't want to use the word secrecy because that's not it. But there's
I get what you
there's
mean.
a place
Boundaries.
for a little bit of mystery as
Of
well.
course, of
So I
course.
think we had this conversation off camera where there's certain things that my friends tell me that never make it
Yeah.
to my husband's ears.
Definitely.
Right,
Definitely.
because I feel like first of all that is just spoiling the confidentiality between
Of
my friend. Number
course,
one,
yeah,
number
yeah.
two, if it is not something that he needs to know that is going to be beneficial to us, then
Yeah.
he doesn't need to know.
Yeah.
Right. So
Can you give example?
okay, so like you've told me your love language now.
Okay.
Like we're talking about love languages, right? It will never come up in a conversation
that's
with
random,
him,
that's
right?
random,
Like
yeah.
so, but the
Yeah.
thing is, it's not a serious thing, but it's just not something that will move our relationship forward or bring us closer.
Right.
I'm not saying we've never gossiped because gossip is very ideal. Like there are times where you sit down with the person and be like, "Babe, do you like so and so person?"
Yeah.
He's like, I think he's okay." I'm like, "Nah, I don't like him." And then he'll be like, "Why?" I don't know, but there's something about him. And then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we just decide together.
Yeah.
Is this person going to be in our lives?
Yeah.
Is it time
Yeah.
to move on?
Yeah.
Is it time to, whatever
Yeah.
the action is going to
Yeah.
be? So yeah.
Yeah, I think the real difference in when we say debrief is not like, oh, all of a sudden you download
of
all
course.
this stuff, right? It's like, for me, as an example. An example is if you meet someone new, like, at work, I meet someone new and I feel like, this person, I'm telling my husband right away, it's like, oh, I met somebody new today. I think this person is really exciting.
Or
What do
maybe
you think?
you have someone
This
that is
person's-
annoying, like that man that took your chair to work.
Oh yeah, that
People
too.
gist about
That
it.
one makes
And that will be your
sense.
common
I know what's
enemy.
interesting is
Yeah.
that we're having that, and
Yes.
so when the thing
Things
actually
happen.
happened, I didn't maybe show any sort of emotions, but as I'm debriefing him, I'm now getting emotional.
Yeah.
I'm now breaking down why, because now that's my safe space, right? Yeah. So I'm also thinking about what are some of those little things that we do for our spouse or we get from our spouse that
Yeah.
helps to keep the spark alive. You know what I mean? Because like for me, I know sometimes like he'll do random things like maybe buying me gifts that maybe I'm not expecting him to buy. And I'm like, that's nice, and I'm like feeling extra special, you know. That helps, right? Those are like little things. Then there's also the parts where sometimes we'll just travel for the weekend, just me and him, right? We'll just go for the weekend. Thankfully, we have like family
People that
member
can help.
that can help, where you can keep your kids and you go and enjoy a little weekend away.
Can get away.
Yes. So like those things, remember, like for me, it's okay. Oh, quality time is actually big too, right? So we spend time together, and then you use the opportunity to like connect, right? So yeah, what are the things for you guys?
Yeah, I think I already said mine.
Little
I think
things.
we didn't hear from Kume.
Little
Yeah.
things, yeah.
Remind me, what did you say?
Kume. I was talking about gifts. I was talking about the whole how I like birthdays and how he tries to remember and stuff.
All right, so I think this might sound very funny, but keeping the silliness alive. Like you guys already know me now. I'm the person who does weird things when nobody's looking, right?
Yeah.
So doing those kind of silly things, like I even play pranks on him.
I don't see that side of Kume.
I've not seen it yet too.
I prank him, I might just do something like just to get us laughing and be comfortable, because I mean that's what we were doing when we're dating anyway, where you just come up with something random and just be like, what if I hid a doll behind the door and he whatever steps on it or something, like what would be his reaction, those kind of things, right? So I think just doing the silliness or just dancing in the middle of the day for no reason, like just put some music on and dance, like if that's your thing, right? And then I'll tell you one that backfired, because I love to read. So there are sometimes I'll be like, come, let me read this to you, this is so interesting, and then I see the man going cross-eyed. I'm like, nah, okay, this is not working obviously. But just try to just don't become too serious with life.
Yes.
Like I feel like some people get married and because of pressures,
Bills, all these things.
they now feel like grown-ups, and because they're now grown-ups, they're now like so
Always serious.
about everything. Like sometimes just be silly, or like someone is taking a shower. Have you seen those Instagram ones where someone's taking a shower, you can pour shampoo on their hair and they're like,
I actually
why
love
is
those
this?
silly things.
Like do those kind of things
yeah,
with your spouse. Like play.
Right.
So that's for me.
I love that. That's really good. So think about all those little things that you can do to just spice up. Imagine whatever makes you happy will probably make the other person happy, right?
It's interesting how you people avoided talking about sex, like the way they
Well,
avoided
you know
it.
what?
You know, we didn't avoid, but
We didn't have
it's a
time.
whole topic on its own. Sex, spark after having kids and all that, right? When the kids come in, the
There's so
dynamics
many.
change. So there's so much more to discuss. So I think we should do that in another episode, right?
We'll have a
Let's
part
have a
two.
part 2.
Yeah.
Let's have a part
We'll
2
have
of
a
this.
part
So
two.
So, but before we go, we
The
still have
huge.
to do our cookie jar.
Shake it.
Up. Who is starting first?
Shake it. Wait,
Don't
the
get
last
ready.
time,
Very excited.
the last time I was the one that went first. You
It's
guys
good,
like putting me first.
We like it to be in front.
Okay. This one's good. Can routine and predictability be romantic, or does it mean excitement? I said something about spontaneity at the very beginning of when we started talking. And I think that too much routine, in fact, routine and predictability for me is no longer romantic.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
For me,
Like some
anyways.
spice
Yes,
here and
like
there,
surprise
some
me every now and
surprise.
then.
I
So
love
sometimes
surprises.
I'll give you an example. Okay, we go drop off the kids and you're coming back. I will say, no, I don't want, babe, do you want breakfast? No, I don't want breakfast. But then he'll buy it anyway. And I'll be like, that's nice.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting it, right? So it's almost like when you just feel like the person is doing a little extra, right? It's like it's too. If you're too predictable, if I know that you're gonna go, of course. In reality, you need predictability and you need routines in your life.
But in the middle of that,
in the middle of it,
put
a
some-
little spontaneity, right? It's evening. You're not too tired. Let's just go for a movie.
Exactly.
Like it's just random stuff. I think predictability definitely kills excitement.
Yeah, after a while.
Yep, after a while. Yeah.
Okay, now it's Come's turn.
Young lady, it should be going this way. The flow.
How?
The flow. The flow should be going.
Why are you afraid? Eh? There's no fire
I
in
don't
this
know.
jar.
I don't know.
Okay. Can watching romantic movies or reading about love help rekindle the spark?
Ah,
Have you guys seen The Notebook? Like,
me, I don't like that movie. Sha.
Eh.
I
Did
don't
you
maybe
like
because
it?
it ends like with them.
with them dying. But they were
Dying.
old.
It's my personality. I don't like movies where like somebody will just die in the end. I like happy.
Okay, so did you see Titanic?
Yes.
That one too is
Yeah,
sad.
that one too
I
was
don't
sad,
watch. I do not watch
actually.
Titanic.
Yeah.
I love Christmas movies.
Oh, so
I know it's such a tamey thing.
Yeah.
Don't
Me
worry
too, I
about
love
it.
Christmas
I would
movies.
like to do an episode where we actually talk about movies and actual entertainment. But let me tell you why
Talk
I brought
about it.
them up.
Yeah.
I think that such movies actually spark deeper conversations that you need to have that you may be avoiding.
Yes, I agree.
Yes, there's actually
Do you
one
know-
movie though.
Yeah.
Go ahead first.
No, do you know why I agree?
Yeah.
So there's sometimes. So here's the thing. Like sometimes my husband will say, "Oh," because like I like watching some of those shows like Love Is Blind, right? Now I watch them not because I mean for me it's fun. I'm just like relaxing. I don't want to do any tech related stuff. And then my husband's like, "Why are you watching this stuff?" And then he sits down. And then something happens, and then we have deep conversations. Like we literally like pause it,
Yeah.
and just converse,
Yeah.
and argue and talk, and
Yeah.
disagree, agree, whatever it is. So yes,
Yeah. And I think that in watching TV, not just random TV,
yeah,
but watching like things that have to do with relationship
Yes.
has helped us to understand where each person stands. And I
Yes.
remember there was this one that might be macabre, but I remember having a conversation where we were watching one of those where one of them died, and it ended up being a conversation about what are your wishes. Like God forbid nobody's praying for something bad, but what are your wishes? What would you like me to do if anything ever happened? And I think that that also helps you feel closer. There's a sense of intimacy when you actually understand who your partner is deep down, even the things they're not going to bring up just like that.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
definitely. Talking about the whole movie thing, bringing up conversation. I remember this particular movie, Acrimony, Tyler Perry.
I've not watched it,
Oh,
but
you need to watch it.
Are you
You'll be
serious?
mad. People have two different opinions.
Yeah.
Me and my husband don't agree. At all on that movie.
Me
And
too.
so many like that movie. Oh my god. Anyway, you guys. It's not promo
You
for
just-
Tyler Perry, but watch it.
But Tyler
so you
Perry, if
understand.
you watch this
yeah, you can.
and you want us to talk about
Yeah.
it, let us know.
our fees we're not expensive
What
at all.
at all?
We don't
Oh, you
charge
know
too
what? We
much.
could do like one of these episodes. We could like watch a movie outside of the
Yeah.
episode that's related to relationships and
Yeah.
discuss it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That
That would
could
be
be
nice.
cool.
That would be nice.
I think the one we're watching now is Beauty in the Black.
I'm not watching it yet. I've seen it, but I don't know. Me and Tyler Perry, I enjoyed more of those his Medea movies than all these.
Actually,
Timmy likes cheesy.
yeah. Because what is my dear, please? Like,
I don't know. I just
I think that if it's too heavy, Timmy's brain is like,
I know,
nah,
like,
don't
because
want
most
this.
it's true. She doesn't like Charlie. She won't like Acrimony. If she
I
didn't like
might
Titanic
not.
and the other one, she won't like Acrimony.
I'm not. It does it inside.
It's inside.
Don't give her
let
any.
me not give
Go
you.
and see
Go
the
watch it. It was
movie
a very happy
and
ending.
let us know what you think.
I don't believe you. All right. What's it?
Okay, so do grand gestures matter more than small everyday acts of love? I think grand gestures can be paparazzi. I think every day I like the consistency. I prefer small everyday acts of love than only one grand gesture in a year. Then the rest yes, I do. And then the rest of the no. So I think that one was easy. Definitely.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's not waste too much time. Let's pick the audience question. You guys.
Are you ready?
Who's picking the audience question?
Not me again.
I'll take it. I'll take one for the team.
Take it for the team. Don't pick a different one for them.
Okay.
So they won't come for us in the
Okay,
comments.
audience, sorry, I picked two by mistake, so I'll just take the
Yeah.
one on top.
Okay.
Okay, so what is more important, deep conversations or playful banter in marriage? So over to you guys. Would you prefer deep conversations, staring into your eyes, or is it playful banter?
Hi.
Yeah.
That's a very. I wish we even got that question
Yeah.
because that would have been a really good
Yeah.
discussion. But yes, hopefully you guys
Let's see what you
put
guys
those
think
yeah
in the
comments.
comments. Yeah. So we'll meet you guys same time next week.
Bye
Bye.
bye.